Hello everybody, how we all doing today? How we doing? I'm pretty excited about this one. I am pretty damn excited about it. So how's everybody's evening or morning or whatever time it is going wherever you are? I hope it's going well. Let's turn this music down just a smidge. There we go. Alright, so this is going to be a fun one today. It is definitely going to be a fun one because, well, I'm making it a character for a game that, well, Ollie will be DMing, and that is very exciting because Ollie is the type of DM that prefers DMing in his own homebrew worlds as opposed to prefabbed worlds. So that means it comes with a lot of homebrew made. I honestly don't know if like his homebrew is something that he kind of like, he just knew the rules in his head and he only recently wrote it down, or if he's always had it written down like solid in stone. But he went ahead and did that, wrote all of his rules down solid in stone, at least the ones that matter, which is amazing. I appreciate that. I am drinking water, thank you. And it's from the toilet of Maine, which is the greatest state in all of the United Ones. So, Maine, the way life should be. It's literally their state logo. So, what was I saying? I'm excited to make this character because of his homebrew, because of the stuff he came up with. So, without further ado, let's look at this stuff. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, well, you know what? We'll see about those diagonal rules, right, Varys? Okay, so, just as a little heads up, if you look far off to the right over here, actually, yeah, far off to the right over there, slightly behind that Scotch glass I've got going on. Am I misrepresenting the Scotch glass by drinking water? I'll probably end up drinking Scotch soon anyways. So, I have the macro that I generally use for rolling my stats. I did already roll my stats. I posted them in the Discord. If you're not a part of the Discord, scroll down, click on that link, join the Discord, and hang out with us when we're not online. But, this is the macro I generally use right here, and I will show you how it works. I press enter, and bam, it rolls. Oh my god! Those stats are fucking horrible! Oh my god, a 6, a 7, a 10, a 13, a 10, and a 9? That totals a -2, -1, so that's a -4 and a +1, it's a -3. By all rules, you can re-roll that. That is horrifying. So if that was actually my rolled stats, I could roll again and get numbers like this, which are so much, oh my god, look at that mixed bag! You have 2 horrifying stats, 2 really good stats, and 2 nothings. Oh god, well I'm glad that I already swallowed the pill of what my character is going to be. I already swallowed that pill. Iowa's logo is where. That's amazing. That's really funny. So, let's see what stats I've already rolled. They are actually right here for you. So other people are kind of like playing with their characters and what they're making. So I rolled an 8, a 12, a 10, an 18, a 7, and a 13. So I've already swallowed that pill and decided what I'm going to do with it. I decided to play, what are those stats? The ones down below, the ones I just rolled down here, that's just for what I just rolled. But the ones up here, these are the ones I rolled earlier. So when I actually like told the DM, hey, I'm popping into the game and rolling my stats, so we do it right there to make sure that it's held accountable for, right? So there's the stats there. I decided to look through all the races that are available for 5th edition, because he said it's generic world, you can pretty much use whatever you want, just double check with him if it's not PHB, but he also had homebrew races. Well, I like to entrench myself in homebrew worlds. It's fun for me. Like when I played Grey on Roll For It, I learned about one of the religions there and just dove right into that religion as hard as I could, because to me that's fun. It's a whole new experience. It makes D&D fresh and new for me, not like something that I know like the back of my hand, right? So, talking about homebrew, I went over to his homebrewed area and look at his various things that he has set up. His sun elves and moon elves are a little bit different from what we have. Then he has something called Breacher. I'm actually not very familiar with what they are. It doesn't matter. He has desert dwarfs. That's interesting. Cool. Desert dwarfs. Scrolling down. Here. What? Does that say undead? That says undead. That says undead. Okay. I can be undead. That's certainly going to be unique. Diamond, ask me in the Obsidian sorry, the Obsidian portal. Ask me in the Discord, and I'll tell you how to make those. So, Undead. That's funny. I just realized that I have this open. Close this. Hiding what you're doing, Tiv. I don't want to see. I don't care. Boom. All right. So, Undead. Let's see. When Lichvale fell to the undead cults of Orcus, every living being in the city was forced into undeath. Men, women, children, city guards, and simple peasants alike were turned into haunting, dead images of what they once were. Now, a good year after the undead curse was lifted, the corpses in mass graves opened their eyes again. Their skin putrid and leathery. In some places, their bones are visible through near translucent skin. But their minds are alive. Most have few memories of who they once were, perhaps a name and a once enjoyed hobby. Researchers in Lichvale research these bright-eyed undead. They were summoned to be soldiers, that much is clear, and yet no commanders exist for them to follow. They crawl out of the catacombs below Lichvale, seeking purpose. Most seek a place to call their own, but some are shunned or attacked in the cities they once knew as home. These lost undead try to band together in small groups, calling themselves the Deadless. They are accepted in no place, and many are turning reluctantly into banditry, while others travel or attempt to settle in their own small hamlets. As a young race in the world, they find no home and have no place. That is amazing. That is amazing. This is incredible. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Thank you, Diamond. Sorry, Worm is what I always call you. I don't know why I said that. So I get a +2 Constitution. Cool. Age, I mean, it doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter because they're undead. Alignments, I mean, strange enough, they're neutrally aligned towards lawful alignments, which actually works perfect for the concept that I come up with. Usually when I do these streams, these recordings, I don't come up with the concept beforehand. I just kind of go with the wind. I make it up as I play, take a lot of your input for it. But with this one, it's a campaign that I'm hoping goes on for a long period of time. So I wanted to put a little extra oomph into it. It's something that I need to love. So I did spend a few hours thinking about it before I actually sat down to create it. And so I know that I already know what alignment I'm going to be and everything. And then many choose new paths in life leading towards evil, few naturally good. Speed is 25 feet. I like that. That makes sense. Needless. An undead does not need to eat, drink, or sleep. They still have the same urges to do all three as other races do and can do so. To complete a long rest, a Deadless spends 4 hours resting and tends to their slowly rotting bodies, doing the best they can to repair it. With this ability, you are also immune to disease. Slightly poorly phrased, but it doesn't matter. You're immune to disease as well. Cool. This is that tweet was all about. To complete a long rest, a Deadless spends 4 hours resting and tending to the slowly rotting. I mean, that's only 4 hours. Not like a long rest is 8 hours long, but you spend 4 of them in a trance. It's no, you spend 4 hours doing a long rest. That's very different. So I thought that was cool. Dark vision. You can see dim light 60 feet. Yeah, same as it always is for not the same as it always is. Your vision is murky shades of red and black and can't discern true color. I love that. I love the feel that it's not just black and white and shades of gray. The way that I did my genocide before, my first D&D stream I did on my channel, I did that. Everybody saw things in different colors, so I love the fact that he did that. It's something I personally enjoy. You only get common. Unlike most other races, you don't get any other language, but that's cool. You freaking have so many other features. Who cares? And you're a sub-race, whatever. I love this sub-race right here. Deadless Soldier. The risen corpses of Lichvale, long after the curse has ended. Technically, their bodies are somewhere between that of a ghoul and an undead. Ability scores, strength goes up by 1. Risen talent, you gain proficiency in 1 martial weapon of your choice and 1 set of artisan tools of your choice. Life Echo, after a short or long rest, you gain temporary health points equal to your character level plus your constitution modifier. That's amazing. That's like an additional level in health points that you get to have lying around. Then there's this other one over here, Wisdom score. You can scream as a full action. The scream includes blah, 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 blah. And I honestly don't care about this one because I like this one. This is amazing. I'm going to love it. It's funny, actually. I thought it was OP as well. I thought so, which is why I tweeted about it and everything. And then I came to realize that there is a rule you can only do a long rest once every 24 hours. So you can't do the hacksaw kind of thing I was thinking. Still powerful, but not like crushingly powerful like I thought. All right. So I fucking love it. It's amazing. This gave me such an idea. I was like, I need to play this character. And originally I was thinking Undead Warlock, and Ollie and I were joking around about, oh, it's very World of Warcraft, which is funny because I've played less than 6 months of World of Warcraft my entire life. About 4.5 of those in 2004 when it was first released. I'm not an MMO player aside from maybe the original Ultima Online, like the Ultima Online that was one of the first MMOs that ever existed. I absolutely loved. So I love this. It really captured me. I loved it and wanted to move forward. I fiddled with other races' ideas and was Skyping with him back and forth, but this one kept calling to me. So I needed to find the correct class to play it, and I found it. I found the correct class to play it. So, shrinking this down. Where are you? Going back over here, I decided I wanted to play a sorcerer. I wanted to play an undead sorcerer. I thought it would be unique, but I needed to find the right undead to do. So I decided to go Stone Sorcerer. Here's the concept. I was a dwarf, the curse came, I died, and now I'm returned as an undead dwarf. Sorcerer, Stone Sorcerer. I love the idea, I love the way they're going to play it. I'm so in love with this character already. I don't have the finer details like my name done. I don't have all my equipment washed out yet. But this is going to work out beautifully, and you're going to see why. Because of the stats I rolled, it made it difficult, nigh impossible. I mean, technically you can play anything you want, but I'm a very first, second edition mentality kind of player, where if you roll shitty stats, you're very limited on what you're allowed to play to be a viable character. So I love this. It's a viable concept with the stats I rolled. Here we go. Stone Sorcerer, if you're not familiar. Your magic springs from a, it says, mystical link between your soul and the magical elemental earth. You might trace a distant ancestors to the plane of Earth, or your family might have earned a mighty boon in return for services to the Tao Lords. Whatever your past, the magic of the elemental Earth is yours to command. Your link to Earth magic grants you extraordinary resilience, and stone sorcerers have a natural affinity for combat. A steel blade feels like a natural extension of your body, and sorcerers with this origin have a knack for wielding both shields and weapons. In combat, your place is amid the fray. You rely on your elemental nature to shield you from harm, and your magic and metal weapons to overwhelm your foes. This is important because I just read to you what it said for the undead in this world and Ollie's world, and the undead here are summoned to be soldiers. But why? I wanted to play a caster because with only one good stat, the most viable concept is a caster. But these things are summoned to be soldiers. It's beautiful. It's a soldier caster. I love it. Magic and metal weapons overwhelm your foes. Bonus proficiencies. At first level, you gain proficiency with shields, simple weapons, and martial weapons. It's great. Oh my god. I could play a dwarven sorcerer and have a shield and an axe. My axe. Right? Oh my god, it's great. I have to come up with the voice I'm going to use. Metal magic. Your affinity with metal gives you options to learn some non-sorcerer spells that focus on weapon attacks. When your spellcasting feature lets you learn a sorcerer spell a first level or higher, you can select that spell from the following list in addition to the sorcerer spell list. You must otherwise obey all the restrictions of spellcasting and blah blah blah. It kind of stinks that they don't allow me to choose like a little bit of extra cantrips too, but that's fine. I'm limited to cantrips. Sorcerers have a pretty decent selection there. Compelling Duel, I'm not a big fan of that spell, but still nifty. And then they get a little bit better as they go. It feels very paladin-esque. Moving on. Stone's durability. This is where the concept starts to come to light for you, okay? So at first level, your connection to stone gives you extra fortitude. Your health point maximum increases by 1, and increases by 1 whenever you gain a level in this class. It's amazing. It's like having a +2 con for the purpose of health points. I love it. Here we go. Here we go, boys and girls. Strap in. As an action, you can gain a base AC of 13 plus your Constitution modifier if you aren't wearing armor. and your skin assumes a stony appearance. This effect lasts until you end it as a bonus action, you are incapacitated, or you don armor other than a shield. This is where it happens. This is where it goes. Thunder Smite as a free action when you cast a cantrip, then teleport to attack via Aegis. Oh my god, Brunchin. Loving it! Loving it! Oh, you guys are great. Okay, so... here we are. This is where things come together, and I will show you why. Remember how we were talking about... sorry, not there. Remember how we were talking about that +2 con? Remember how we rolled an 18? That's right, boys and girls. We're going to slap that on there and give our sorcerer an 18 constitution, allowing us to have a 20 constitution, giving us a +5, which gives me 13 + 5 equals 18 armor class at level 1. Slap on a shield because I'm a dwarf, right? I've got a 20 armor class at level 1. Throw an axe in my hand and I can actually kill a thing or two. Are you kidding me? Are you serious? This is going to be a great idea. This is a great concept. It is a sorcerer that is going to be very, very much into the fray melee, feel very warrior-esque. I kind of was hoping in making this game that I was going to play a fighter type, maybe even a barbarian, but I wasn't satisfied with the stats that were rolled in being a viable character like that. This allows me to play the character I wanted to, within the confines of the stats that I rolled in the rules of the game. So, here we go. Unforgiving Realms, I have not watched that. If you want to whisper me a link, feel free to do so. I'd love to check it out. Or throw it into the Discord, as always. Okay, so... alright, this is exciting. I'm really excited to build this character. So, now that we know it's going to be an undead, what is the race called? It's like, I keep doing that. An undead, deathless soldier, stone sorcerer. Let's start putting it together. They get a +1 strength as their other modifier. So, come back over here. Let's grab our stats and throw it on our character sheet. Guy person. Character sheet. Let's do this. Already we know that our 18 is going to go to this constitution, making it a 20. No question. I can tell you because it's a +1 con, I got to grab an odd stat and throw it in there to make the best of it. I'm going to grab my 13 and throw it over here to give me a 14 strength score, which is going to be good for somebody who likes the idea of melee. That leaves my next best stat as a sorcerer being a 12. A 12 for my charisma as a sorcerer. I know a lot of people are going to kind of raise an eyebrow at that one. Why wouldn't you have an 18 charisma? What is the matter with you? Doesn't fit the concept I want. This fits the concept I want. I absolutely love it. I hope this works out. So, let's see. What are my other stats? 8, 7, 12, and 10. I already used my 12, so it's 8, 7, and 10. I think I want to throw my 7 in Dex. I like the idea of having almost no dexterity. This actually is a spiritual successor to an old character I played a very long time ago. A Dwarven Paladin I played a long time ago. And we're going to call it, it was 3-Point Scott, but it was pre-real 3-Point Scott. It was my own 100% homebrewed Paladin based off 3.5. But, real 3-Point Scott came out around when 4th edition did, when I said fuck this noise and I made a whole new system. So the idea that character had like a really bad, because like the stats that I rolled really amazing stats, which is why I decided to take a paladin. But I think I rolled like a 5 or a 6 and I put it in dexterity. And the reason why I did that was I explained this in being like an old commander on battlefields. There was lots of injuries or whatever. Similar to how I did with Gray over in Roll For It. He had an 8 dexterity and it was because of a wound. The idea was he originally had like almost perfect stats and that's what, you know, blah, blah, blah. So if I go 7 dexterity, I hope I don't hate myself for that one. I almost feel as though it should be 7 intelligence. Let's go 8 intelligence. And that leaves me a wisdom score of 10. I might switch Dex and Intelligence. Give me your opinions on that one. Should I be dumber or should I be lower Dexterity? Mechanics-wise, Dexterity is a much more often rolled stat for saving throws than Intelligence. And the role playing is only going to be slightly different between a 7 and 8 anyways. So give me your opinions on that one. So my health points are going to be 6 plus 5, right? Gives you 11. Nay, nay. As the Stone Sorcerer, I get 1 more at first level, allowing me 12 health points at first level. So bam, I have 12 health points at first level, which is amazing. Let's go over here. Let's grab this as a sorcerer. Cool. Not here. This is wrong. Grabbing 12 health points here. Awesome. Down, that loaded in there for me. We have HD. We have 1 HD because we're level 1. Cool. Good to go there. It should not affect my AC because it specifically says it does not. Like, dexterity is only rolled into armor class if it says it's rolled into armor class per, was it? I can't remember which one it said, but it's a tweet. One of the tweets. It's only specifically if it says it affects your AC. This right here says AC 13 plus con modifier. Does not say dexterity is involved, therefore it does not affect my AC. However, if I'm not using that ability, my AC would be an 8. My AC is an 8 unless I activate that, then it's an 18. Moving on. What are the features? So let's add in all racial features first, because that's the way I do. So over here, deadless, I already added my strength. I get 1 martial weapon. Sadly, that one's wasted because I have all martial weapons with my class. 1 artisan tool. We'll get to that in a second. It plays into my concept. And, oh, look at that. Temporary health points of 6. 1 is my level, plus 5 is 6 temporary health points. Let's throw that onto the character sheet. But we got to remember to actually take the words. Do I have a... I cannot do it the way I wanted to. Oh, well. It takes it as pictures. So, Risen Talent, which I'm not even going to write that over there, and Life Echo, which I will write over there. As short rest equals char plus con, temp HP. Cool. So, what was it called again? Risen Talent? Oh, I'm so bad. Oh, no, Life Echo. My apologies. So, over here, we're going to add a Life Echo. Echo always makes me think of Echo, the character played by Eliza Dushku in that awesome TV series done by, what's his face, from like Buffy and stuff. Life Echo, short rest, temp HP, what am I doing? Temp HP equals char plus con. I forgot the H in char. All right, and we're going to get the other racial features, which I believe is just simply 25 speed. Oh, needless is super important in dark vision. So we'll grab dark vision and we'll grab needless. So it's 60 feet, red and black. And then needless is don't eat, drink, or sleep, immune to disease, and 4 hours rest. Let's throw that over there. So we're going to go dark vision, 60 feet, black and red. Let's actually say murky. It's important to understand, like I want to get into the mindset of the character while I'm playing it, right? All right, and the next one was needless. Needless. This one is don't eat, sleep, drink. It was only 4 hours long rest, and then last thing was immune to disease. Okay. Okay. There we go. Life Echo is there. That should shore up the class entirely. So, dumb as a rock. Yeah, I think I am smarter than Maggie's character with the 8. I think I'm smarter than Maggie's character. It's funny. I remember, like, it says I am a dwarf because I'm describing myself as a dwarf. However, the race is undead. So I'm choosing to be described as a dwarf, but there is no stat saying one way or the other. It's like, technically speaking, a tiefling, in accordance to 3.5, doesn't have to be human. A tiefling can be elven or halfling or dwarven or whatever and have the same stats that are listed there. You just describe yourself differently. Okay. Plus 1 artisan tool. We're going to get to that in a second. So... let's go back over to class stuff, which is right here. So now we know that we have Stone's Durability, which changes my AC. Stone's Durability as an action releases a bonus action. Stone's Durability, action, release as bonus action. And it lasts for as long as it wants to. Like there's no... Okay. Aegis I don't get yet. I can choose Compelled Duel. I probably won't, and you'll see why shortly. I get proficient in all simple martial weapons and shields as opposed to whatever it says for sorcerers. And it's not like light armor or anything now. So proficiency over here is going to be weapons, simple and martial, armor, shields. And then down here I always put languages too. This is where I'm kind of having a hang up. I wish I spoke Dwarven as well as Common. So I'm going to ask Ollie about that when I see... Oh, Ollie's here! Hey, Ollie! Welcome, welcome! How are you doing? Hello, everybody else. What's up, Midori? All right, so Ollie, I actually had a question for you. This is a question I have. Over here, it says... languages that they only start with Common. Correct me if I'm wrong, and Tim and Brunchin, you guys are usually really good for 5e rules. Are there any other races that only get Common as a language? Now, I understand it's your homebrew, it's completely unique, so it could just stay as Common and Common only, and I won't dispute that by any means. I'm just asking, is that a mistake? Did you intend to have a second language? Because I would love to choose Dwarven as a second language. If it is not a mistake and that was intentional, then Common is the only one I speak, and I will RP accordingly. All right, moving on. So languages. Now let's go over to other class features. That's it for this bonus class stuff right here. Cool. Now let's go over to the actual core class. Somebody had sent to me, I'm so bad with names and I'm so sorry about that, but somebody had sent me a much better version of the PHB in a PDF. And thank you very much for that. Super appreciate it. This is a much more beautiful version. I don't mind owning the PDF because I own the book. I had it in my hand the other day. Because I own the book, so I don't feel guilty having the PDF. So here it is. All right, so what does a sorcerer get? 1d6 health points. Well, we already know that I actually have... Let's stay over... Yep, let's go over here. I actually have 1d6, which is 6, plus 5, plus 1 for my class. Oh, wait, but my race also gives me 6 temper HP. So I wake up every morning with 18 health points, which is amazing. You can swap Dwarven to Common. That's okay. That's funny. Nope, all start with 2. And the PHB says the party speaks all the languages spoken by the party members. Oh, that's pretty funny, Brun. I've never known that before. That just sounds broken and weird. I don't know. But I'll wait for Ollie's ruling on it. I will not question it. The only rule I'll question is diagonal movement. I'll question that until the day I die. So, here we go. Oop, stay back up here. Choose 2 skills from Arcana, Deception, Insight, Intimidation, Persuasion, and Religion. I am going to choose... I feel like not knowing anything about Arcana. I think that might be fun. I like having Insight. Like, I'm really good at reading people. I like Intimidate. I like Insight. No, wait. Actually, I already know what my background's going to be, and I think that comes with it. So I'm going to choose Intimidate and Persuasion. I think that's what I want to go with, because even though I have not the craziest charisma, I want to go with still being a charisma-like character, a face-like character. So Intimidate and Persuasion. Intimidation is just show them my face. So Intimidate and Persuasion. It tended to be a dead human. Oh well, I'm playing it as a dwarf. So, or how do you do that face? I can't remember it. It's from one of the old movies. But you didn't say only dwarf. It doesn't say only dwarf. So like I said, I'm playing it like technically the way that genocide work and tieflings and everything else. It doesn't specifically have to say different stats for different versions of that race. Just same stats. You look funny. Okay. I don't mind speaking only common, though. So it's either one language or two. Where was I? Got distracted talking to Ollie. Here we go. So I chose my 2, Intimidation, Persuasion. Let's keep moving on. Starting equipment, we are going to copy and paste this, and we're going to get to this shortly because of a different conversation I had with him before, which is wicked cool of him to make that decision, but we'll worry about that later on. Bio, we're just going to paste you right here. Come back over, and go back over to the Sorcerer. Spellcasting, so I know I have cantrips, I'll get to that later on. And I have spells, I'll get to that later on. And nothing else on here is going to matter. This is all higher than first level stuff because I grabbed it from my archetype or origin or whatever the hell you want to call it. Awesome. Cool. So I think I'm effectively done with this book for now. And let's go over to the other details. It's genocide. I know some people say Ganassi, which I think is like one of the most horrible pronunciations of that name. I'm like, ugh, Ganassi? Ugh, genocide, like genie, genocide. Some people say Genasi, which again, that doesn't make sense to me. It's like, you know, Kunsai, so it's Sai. And then J, like genie, so genocide. That's how it made sense to me in my weeby little teen self. Where was I? Stay focused, Scott. You applied race. You applied class. You're now doing... Oh, wait. Backgrounds. That's what we need to do. And I didn't Google backgrounds. 5e backgrounds. So I can Google backgrounds, and we can pull up the Wikia for it. Or... Ollie had an awesome addition to backgrounds over here because he is a thorough DM. Cool guy. One of them really stood out for me. Your opinions on this one. Laborer. And I'll get to why in a minute. Most of your life was not one of grandeur or adventure, but one of hard work. You toiled for your coin, enough to buy yourself a bed and perhaps protection for your family. Every city and village is filled with hardworking individuals like yourself. Few of them doing anything ever else with their lives. While your life is now turning down the path of adventure, your past isn't behind you. Your muscles and wits were hewn from your years and years of work. And this gives you athletics and insight, 2 artisan tools, and then some shitty equipment. Okay? And then you can choose whatever your profession was. You can roll for it. I'm not going to do that. But this is the feature that really captured me because of the idea that I have, and I need to still feel like a face character, like a sorcerer with only a 12 charisma. So, feature, fast friends. You know how to talk to common folk. In a tavern or workhouse or somewhere similar, you can band together with a group of friends. Within a night of drinking and or game playing, you get to know a small group of commoners who will happily spill all sorts of information and come to your aid for simple tasks. I love it. It's great. It's like saying folk hero, but it doesn't require you to be in an area where they know you. It requires to be anywhere where you can get to know them, spend a little coin, and you gain a benefit without having to roll anything. It's just there for you. It's brilliant. I've literally never seen this done before, and I love it. It's good. So this captured me, and I love the idea of being a laborer. And the 2 artisan tools are a big thing, and I'll get to why shortly. So laborer with athletics and insight being slapped onto the character. Let's do that right now. Background up here, laborer. Did I spell that wrong? I'm a terrible speller. There we go. Race is technically undead. Or no, deadless is what they're called. Which is very different, and I'll get to why shortly. Oh, Ollie, I only did not do the link. I only did not do the link, Ollie, because I wasn't sure if you wanted to share it, so I downloaded it and displayed it this way, just for you. But if you want to share the link, no problem. I will also put this on the VOD that I'm going to put on YouTube. So, 2 artisan tools. So, let's do that. Artisan tool. And we'll get to those shortly. Cool. We said it was athletics and insight, which is one that I really wanted anyways. Coolio. There sadly are no constitution-based skills, but hey, if there were, I'd be crushing them. I don't care about you. What else does this thing offer? And I honestly can't remember what you had said. Yes to 2 languages or no to 2 languages. Clean and simple answer so I can actually hear you and understand. All right, let me see. Let's copy this down over here. Since I sadly can't copy and paste off of it, which is a little frustrating, but that's okay. A large tool of your trade. Axe, pick, rake, whatever. I'm not really worried about what that is. Let's see. Commoner's clothes. There's clothes. Set of traveler's clothes. Traveler's clothes. Weird to have 2 outfits. And a pouch. So it's a, what is it, belt pouch. And 5 gold, which is a sad. 5 is like pauper status gold. All right, just typing over there. Copy and paste it over here. So you start adding that stuff onto my character in a moment. Anything else I'm missing over in Ollie Homebrew? Oh, and then, damn it, the feature. Feature not being able to be copy and paste. Frustrating. So, yeah, I'll deal with the, that afterwards. I'll copy it over after. So he said yes to it, so it's going to be common and dwarven. Thank you, Ollie. Just wanted to double check. For somebody who's newer to homebrew stuff, Ollie is like newer to specifically written down homebrew stuff like that. Ollie does a really good job of it. He is he covers all the details. There's like a hair in my mouth. So annoying. I ate shrimp today. When did shrimp? No, I just flossed. Can't be shrimp. Makes me think of an episode of Family Guy. 6-minute shrimp or whatever it was. All right, moving on. And we're going to come back to the features, flaws, and all that stuff very shortly. Okay, I'm playing a dwarf, risen again. So I have artisan tools. What do you think they're going to be? There's 3 things that dwarves are really good at. The only question is, I don't know how to... Well, there's a few things that dwarves are really good at. I don't know how to specifically represent them. So let's go over to the actual book here and look up the equipment for artisan tools. I think it's not trade goods, adventure gear. Nope, tools. Here we go. So let me zoom in a bit so this is more easily seen. There we go. Alchemist, brewer's supplies, obviously brewing. Cobblers, cooks, glass blowers, jewelry, leatherworking, mason, potter, smith. There we go. Brewers, masons, and smiths. I work with stone. I work with metal. I make alcohol. What else does a dwarf need to do? I love it. It's beautiful that I happen to have 3. That's obviously what's going to be. It's amazing. So, let's not write that wrong. Brewer's kit. It's funny because I am actually a brewer in real life. Mason, and what was the other one called? It's mason tools. Tools. And smith. Smithing tools. Smithing. Is it a word? Smithing? Is it not a word? Smith tools, I guess? We'll just say smith tools. Cool. What skills do they use? I don't know what the skills they use are. I'm not sure. I don't know. See, I am living outside the box by being a dwarven undead character. So because I'm already so unique by being an undead dwarf, I love the idea of living the idea of a stereotypical dwarf, of being that stereotype, because I'm already unique and outside of the box. So I grab onto that. So it's like, when I play non-religious classes, I like being religious characters, but classes that you never would identify as being religious, or generally don't. I like being ultra-religious because that's outside of the box. But when I'm playing like a cleric, I don't like being ultra-religious because it's like, well, duh. You know what I mean? So I'm not playing a typical dwarf, I'm playing an undead dwarf. Alright, moving on. Personality traits, all this stuff. So let's see, tool of trade. Which tool should I have my trade stuff for? I'm going to keep my smithing tools on me. Sorry, smith tools. So I'm going to have on me because those can actually be used as a weapon, which was what Ollie was trying to say. Commoner's clothes. So, commoner's clothes. Oh, hello. I'm a wealthy commoner. I actually have significantly less money than I should because I spent all my money on a second outfit. And clothes are friggin' expensive in this game. 5 gold and a belt pouch. Bam. All right, 5 GP. Okay, now let's look at the other equipment I get. Bio, all this stuff right here. Bring that back over. Now, one of the things that Ollie said I can do is I can actually trade in items that I would typically get for items of equal value to them. He had told me that I was allowed to do that. That's awesome. I don't need a light crossbow and bolts. I'm going to need an arcane focus. Suggestions on what my arcane focus is, as opposed to a component pouch. Suggestions and arcane focus. What's up, Hunter? How you doing? Dungeoneer and an Explorer's Kit. So Dungeoneering Kit and Explorer's Kit. Probably Dungeoneering for the purpose of like mining and stuff. 2 daggers. I'll totally keep the 2 daggers. Probably Dungeoneering Kit. I'll take a suggestion if anybody has one. Arcane Focus is the little beard that rotted off. Oh, that's messed up. Your shield is a good focus. I don't know if technically it can work that way. My Mason's tools, that might be interesting. It could be cool if it was something along the lines of like, say, like, so dwarves tend to have like jewelry that they wear to like clasp, like beard clasps and stuff like that. I might do something like that because technically speaking, you're supposed to have a free hand to grasp your arcane focus. You have to be able to touch it, so you can't really do it with both your hands full. So that being said, I might do that one, and just it's kind of like when I cast spells, I grasp my beard to do so. That might be cool. Beerstein could be funny. I'll think about it. So, what's up, Mighty Rick? How you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. Over here, it's nice to see you. So let's see, light crossbow. Let's see how much you're worth. Over here, we're gonna scroll back up to weapons, and we're gonna see. Ooh, that scrolls fast. You keep popping back out on me. It's annoying. Okay, so light crossbow is worth 25 gold pieces, and then the quiver I think is worth what? Adventurer's gear. That's not what I wanted. Oh, that's fine. Just got this. Quiver is worth 1 gold. So it's 26 gold pieces is what it gets me. And I'm allowed to trade that for other items of equal value in accordance to the DM. So the items I'm going to get are a battle axe, I believe, because I'm proficient, which is 10 gold, and a shield, which is 10 gold. So we're going to add a battle axe and a shield to the character sheet, leaving me with 6 gold left over. Now, he didn't tell me I can keep that gold. He didn't tell me I can keep it. He said I can trade it. So I still technically have to trade that for other items. I cannot just keep it in my pocket. That was not said. So we're going to go up here. We're going to add a battle axe. It's going to be based off strength. Damage for an axe is what? 1d8 unless you do it in 2 hands. Strength. And it's going to be slashing damage. We'll have a separate one called battle axe 2 hands. And for this one, strength. This one's going to be 1d10 damage. Slashing once again. And then technically we have daggers as well. I think dagger's speed was a ridiculous 20 feet or something like that, which I thought was super lame. 1d4 damage. It's going to be strength. I can use strength instead of dex because I'm throwing it. And I believe it was 2060. That's what it was. 20 feet, 60 feet. The heart of a long-lost loved one kept in a crusted stone jar is really fucking cool. Let's see. A bottle of dwarven whiskey filled with ground and rubble that was... Ooh! Slashes! Ooh! Mm. Oh my god, that is amazing. Mimic saying good call with the bolts. Let's see how much those are worth. I think it's like a gold piece. So if we're going to be stingy here. Where does it say? It does not say it here. You'd think it would with the weapons, but I don't think it does. I'm not zooming in just because it doesn't matter for a quick glance. I'm not going to zoom in every single solitary time I go up and down. Actually, I'm scrolling up and down differently, so I guess might as well zoom since I'm scrolling up and down differently. Bolts, where are you? B. Bolts. You're not here. Is there arrows? Oh, here we go. Crossbow bolts. 1 gold, so I guess one more GP. I'll let it onto the pile. I saw Ollie said I can keep the gold, but I think I should, like, let's not, push my luck here. I love the whiskey jar filled with, like a whiskey bottle filled with ash from my grave. Oh, that one is so cool. That's so cool. Yeah, okay. It looks as though chat even agrees with them. So it's going to be, so the Dwarven Whiskey. Ollie, I'm going to describe it for you in case you can't remember it from over at Lost Initiative. I'm going to describe the whiskey bottle. So it is a very round-shaped bottle, much like you would think, crap, what's the name of that purple drink that you use as the last ingredient when you're making a Grateful Dead? Short, fat, raspberry-ish flavored, liquor bottle. Oh, God. What the hell is it called? Ingredients to a Grateful Dead. What the hell is it called? Raspberry liqueur, yes, but what the hell is it called? What are you called? Chambord! There we go. So it's going to look like a Chambord bottle, okay? So it's stout like that. So short, fat, round like that. It's made out of stone. It has like a mid-level coloring of stone to it. It has etchings that are put into the stone, depending on who it is that made it or how it is that it was made. Sometimes the engraved parts of the stone will also have a bit of dye put in there to color it as well. So it could be many different hues of color. I imagine the coloring on this one is going to be purple. But it's going to be faded from having been buried with me a long time. What's written on the bottle, I haven't decided yet. Totally leave it to you guys to decide what it is that's written on the bottle. But it's written in Dwarven. It has faded purple letterings. It's short, fat stone bottle filled with the ash and soot and whatnot from my actual grave. I love it. I almost feel like I should name it something. Like, my character had a name. My character had a name, whatever it was. I'm going to take on a new identity with this concept, but I'm going to name the bottle what my old name was, like carrying my old self with me. So let's just say my name, for argument's sake, was Beardy Beard. It's not actually my old name, but we're just going to put that there for now, because now it's Beardy Beard Bottle, because alliterations are always fun. That was a brilliant one. Thank you again, Unspeakable. You are amazing. No, Unspeakable, sorry. Slashes, you're amazing. Anyway, Unspeakable, just give him credit. It is made out of stone, though. I don't want to. If the DM breaks it, the DM breaks it. He would have a good reason for doing so. Dwarven Family Crest could be cool. I like that one.